French President Emmanuel Macron hosts leaders and diplomats in Paris on Friday for an international conference aimed at ensuring Libya sticks to a plan to hold elections next month and turn a new page after a decade of violent conflict. The North African country has been mired in civil war since the overthrow of dictator Muammar Gaddafi in a 2011 uprising, with the bloodshed drawing in competing Libyan factions and Islamist groups, as well as regional powers. The presidential vote and legislative elections on December 24th are the core parts of a UN plan to help restore stability, but the calendar has been under pressure as tensions flare once more between rival camps. Key players attending the meeting on Libya will include U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, one of Paris's closest allies in the Middle East. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi will also be present as co-hosts. The Kremlin said on Friday that Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko had not consulted Moscow before raising the possibility of cutting natural gas flows to Europe, and that Russia was a reliable exporter that fulfilled its obligations. Lukashenko threatened on Thursday to retaliate against any new European Union sanctions over a migrant standoff on the Belarus-EU border, including by shutting down the transit of natural gas and goods via Belarus. Russia is a major exporter of natural gas to Europe via Belarus, and the Kremlin made it clear it did not want to see any disruption in supplies. A Rwandan dissident who used his YouTube channel to criticize the government has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. He's the latest government critic with a YouTube audience to be jailed in the tightly controlled East African nation, ruled by the same leader for nearly 3 decades. His lawyer said on Friday, quote, "We are appealing this verdict with immediate effect. It is simply not right." The Rwandan, whose YouTube channel had amassed more than 15 million views, was found guilty on Thursday on 4 charges, including forgery, impersonation, and, quote, humiliating state officials. In April 2020, he broadcast a series of videos accusing soldiers of serious abuses against slum dwellers during the enforcement of a strict coronavirus lockdown. Shortly afterwards, he was arrested and charged with violating the lockdown and impersonating a journalist and sent to prison. His jailing comes weeks after another high-profile critic with the YouTube following was also sent to prison in Rwanda. The UN envoy on extreme poverty said on Friday the Lebanese government is failing its people, warning that the country is on course to become a failed state. He said, quote, "I saw scenes in Lebanon that I never imagined I would see in a middle-income country." Lebanon's fragile government, formed in September to stem the country's worst-ever financial crash, has yet to take serious action to stop its downward spiral. Around 80% of the population is estimated to be living under the poverty line as defined by international organizations. The Lebanese pound has lost 90% of its value against the dollar on the black market. The price of essential foodstuffs has almost quadrupled in just 1 year, according to the latest data from the Lebanese government. Inflation rate averaged 132% over the first 6 months of 2021, according to the World Bank. And last month, the Save the Children charity warned, quote, "Children in Lebanon are skipping many of their meals as parents struggle to afford basic foods." And U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping are expected to address leaders of the Pacific Rim on Friday amid heightened regional trade and geopolitical tensions. China set the tone for the 21-member Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting this week, with Xi warning in a video recording Thursday that the region must not return to the tensions of the Cold War era. The comment was seen as a reference to efforts by the United States and its regional allies to blunt what they see as China's growing coercive economic and military influence.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.